This is one of the scariest moments that happened in training camp, and it is what it is, right? So Nick Scott obviously had an interception today. It was pouring down rain. He still had a really good pick on Trevor Siemian. But this moment right here is one of the scariest things. Now, as Coach said, there's no tackling in, training camp, and the reason why is because they want to avoid injuries. Now, this is a pass thrown by Jake Browning, and T. Higgins goes up for the ball, and there's a collision between Cam Taylor-Britt and Nick Scott. Now, I want to go ahead and say this right now. Both of the players, all three players in this situation, are fine. They're good. There's no problems. Two of them, T. Higgins and Cam Taylor-Britt, was dinged up a tad bit, as Trag said right here. And yes, at the end of the day, it ended up being that they came up limping. But here is the play. And this is why a lot of people are upset right now, I know, with Nick Scott on the play. Because a lot of people are saying there's no reason why Nick Scott should have hurdled over T. Higgins. And let's go and watch this back to kind of get a general gist. And this is why they're saying this. Because they're saying right here, right, when the ball's in the air, it's overthrown. They said 1000% Nick Scott should have stopped running here. Now, obviously, he is running full speed at the top level he can to try to get over there and cause the play to be broken up, right? And at the end of the day, Jake Browning way overthrew the ball. And a lot of people are like, well, first off, this is when, actually, like, honestly, right here, right? This is when Nick Scott knew, okay, the ball's going to be incomplete. So, and you can see he's not running full speed right here. He's trying to get there, but he's not running full speed. And a lot of people are like, why are you even doing that then? Why are you running full speed at this, again, in training camp? Which, yeah, Cam Taylor-Britt got beat on the play a little bit again. But why are you running full speed on this when you really don't have to, right? There's no reason to. And all you're doing here is risking injury for yourself and the other two guys on the field. And yeah, at the end of the day, it was, if he stops right here, there's no one who's going to get injured or dinged up. Yeah, Cam Taylor-Britt fell, okay. T, a little bit, like he has hands down because he's catching himself. There's no big deal. But that after, and again, it's not on Nick Scott. Like, he didn't do it on purpose, right? In no way did Nick Scott say, I want to injure T. Higgins here. This was just, I guess maybe he thought he could hurdle over T. Higgins, and maybe that was what this ended up being. But again, thankfully, no one got hurt. Yes, they did come up limping a little bit, but they went right back the next play to, process, and everything is okay. But it's stuff like this that, again, it's risking injury. And let alone if we lose Cam Taylor-Britt and T. Higgins for the year because of stuff like this. Thankfully, it didn't. But this is stuff that, the coaches, they go crazy about. And I promise you, Nick Scott is hearing an earful right now saying, I don't care what the situation is. I don't care if you're running full speed. I don't care if, you're doing this, and this. You have to stop. You cannot run into them. You have to pull your body left, pull your body right. And that's hard to do. It's not easy to do it anyway. I mean, again, like I said before, if you're running full speed, that's why all the time we always have that, issue with the roughing the passer call. Because everyone's like, oh, that's roughing the passer. At the end of the day, if you're running full speed at a quarterback, and again, this training camp, this is not, regular season. It's hard to, stop yourself when you're running full speed and you go to tackle the quarterback even though he throws the football. That's regular season. That's football. That's whatever. But with training camp, especially, yes, listen, these guys are competitors. They are trying their hardest to play at a top level. They want to go out there and just absolutely, perform at the best that they can. So stuff like this does happen, but it is scary. It is definitely scary, and I'm happy that everyone's okay and there's no problem at all. Like I said before, Nick Scott did have a really good training camp today, as he did go ahead and intercept the ball that was overthrown by Trevor Siemian. And as you can see, the rain, it was crazy today. There was a lot of rain today, and it was an absolute crazy moment. So, again, you love to freaking see it. And another bad pass here by Trevor Siemian. The quarterbacks did not do good today. They really did not. And they are backups for a reason. And I think that's the best way to put it, right? Is there's a lot of overthrown passes. Now, again, overthrown pass isn't always the worst thing in the world, just because even though if it's overthrown, for the most part, you can kind of get a general gist that it would have been a catch anyway, right? Because if it was thrown correctly by Joe Burrow, it would have been right on the money. And right there, that would have been a catch by T. Higgins. 9 out of 10 times, if that's done by Joe Burrow, that's a catch. And easily, right? And as you see right here, the coaching staff on the left-hand side is running over here to kind of, make sure T's okay. Because, again, that is our future right there on both sides of the ball. So, scary moment, but thankfully, the scary moment wasn't anything too bad. And we can get right back to training camp. And training camp now is over, obviously. But not training camp's over. Practice is over. So now we can focus on tomorrow and focus on this upcoming weekend because we do play the Falcons on Friday. But again, like I said, very scary situation. With that being said, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.